Hello and welcome. If you're new here or if you've been curious about Ayurveda but you're unsure what it actually is, you are in the right place. My name is Michelle Rose and I am the founder of Dusty Rose Lifestyle. Today I want to give you a grounded, real-life introduction to what Ayurveda is, what it isn't, and why I believe it has the power to completely change how we experience our health, our energy, and our lives. Modern Ayurveda isn't about rigid rules or fixing what's quote-unquote wrong with you. At its core, it's about understanding who you are, how you're designed to function, and how to live in a way that supports that design, gently, sustainably, and over the long term. Ayurveda is a 5,000-year-old system of health that views all living things as expressions of the same 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. These elements exist everywhere, in nature, in the seasons, in our food, in our emotions, and in our bodies and minds. Earth gives us structure and stability. Water provides flow, lubrication, and fluidity. Fire governs digestion, metabolism, transformation, and passion. Air creates movement in our nervous system, our breath, in circulation, and in our thoughts. Ether is space. It is the container that allows everything else to exist, our creativity and our joy. We're not meant to eliminate or hyperfocus on any one of these elements. Health comes from their relationship with one another, how they balance, shift, and adapt throughout our lives. A lot of people are introduced to Ayurveda either through pop culture on social media or often through its sister science, yoga, with the concept of the doshas: Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. If these terms are something you haven't heard yet, not to worry. Always return to simplicity and first notice how the 5 elements are showing up in your life first. The doshas combine 2 of the 5 elements. Vata is the air and ether elements, which are very similar in qualities. Kapha is the earth and water elements, which also have very similar manifestations. The Pitta dosha is a combination of fire and water, which are almost complete polar opposites. Here's something really important and very often misunderstood. The word dosha actually translates to fault or that which causes disease. So when we are overly identifying with only one dosha, I'm so Vata, so I'll always be anxious. I'm such a Pitta, so I'm fiery and intense. Or I'm so Kapha, so I'm a doormat or never enough. We can unknowingly start attaching our identity to imbalances or faults of a single dosha instead of how our superpowers of how these 3 doshas combine in the perfect and unique combination just for us. Ayurveda was never meant to box you in. You are not one dosha. You are a unique expression of all 5 elements and all 3 doshas, never to be repeated again for anyone else. This brings us to 2 of the most important concepts in Ayurveda that I want everyone to know. Prakruti is our original constitution, your Ayurvedic blueprint and foundation. It reflects how the elements are arranged in you at your birth and is the foundation of who you are and how balance is meant to be for you. Vikruti is your current state of imbalance. It's how living incongruently with your Prakruti or unhelpful lifestyles, the unavoidable stress of life, the changing seasons, trauma, grief, aging, and the environment have shifted that perfect balance over time. When we live for other people's definition of right and wrong, we become more and more imbalanced. Most social media posts and online quizzes only scratch the surface of Ayurveda, and they quite often focus only on your Vikruti or your current state of imbalance, and often mistake it for who you fundamentally are: a problem to be solved, a symptom to be covered in a band-aid. misinformation and confusion to keep you purchasing more and more stuff, to mask the concerns that you are facing, but not addressing the underlying root causes. It's also why you can take the same quick quiz in the winter and the summer and get totally different results. It's focused on the imbalances or your Vikruti, not how to solve those underlying imbalances. And that is why I always say, an online quiz or an AI response is not how you truly understand yourself with Ayurveda. Real Ayurveda looks at the entire picture of who you are and recognizing that more than one thing can be true at the exact same time. An in-depth look at your whole body and mind is needed. Your digestion and elimination patterns are vital. How you sleep and what dreams you experience. Nervous system patterns throughout your lifespan. Emotional tendencies. The phase of life we are in, because we are always growing, evolving, and changing. Seasonal rhythms in nature and in our lifespan. And how our day-to-day lives change over time. Sometimes because we want them to, other times because we have very little choice in the matter. One of the things that resonates the most with me and what I encourage the most at Dusty Rose Lifestyle is cyclical living with the 5 elements. Nature does not stay the same, and neither do we. There are seasons in the year. There are seasons in our hormones, our careers, relationships, and our nervous systems. There are seasons in our lives of growth, rest, creativity, grief, expansion, and also contraction. When we live in rhythm with these cycles, balance tends to come naturally. But when we resist them, when we expect the same energy, productivity, digestion, or emotional capacity every single day and year round, that's when imbalances, burnout, and illness start to compound. Ayurveda doesn't see disease as completely random. It often sees dis-ease and symptoms as information that we should approach with curiosity instead of criticism, a signal that something is out of alignment with our truest nature, often occurring slowly, quietly, and possibly over many years until it is no longer deniable. So many people I work with are exhausted by the symptom management cycles that occur every year. Every winter, the same fatigue or feelings of grief. Every spring, the same digestion issues or allergy concerns. Every summer, the same inflammation or intensity. Every fall, the same anxiety and dryness. Ayurveda invites us to pause and ask, what is my body asking for right now? What are these manifestations trying to show me? What season am I in, both externally in nature and internally in my own rhythms? When you understand your Prakruti, you recognize your Vikruti and learn how the elements move through you, you stop fighting your body and mind, and you start working with it. Momentum grows in compounded positive ways instead of a slow downward spiral that can feel really heavy and impossible to shift. In my work, I'm deeply focused on helping individuals understand their personal rhythms. My core offerings include my Ayurveda health and dosha assessment, seasonal health check-in sessions, and my signature coaching option, The Journey to Self, a gentle guide of living with Ayurveda. I don't want you to do more. I want you to truly understand yourself, to recognize those early signals, to age with ease, to stop cycling through burnout and restriction, to feel empowered instead of confused or overwhelmed. There is so much power in understanding our truest selves and honoring that version of us. This work is not about perfection. It's about relationship with yourself, with your rhythms and your life. For now, I hope you know this. Ayurveda isn't something you become good at. It's something you remember in the tougher times, but also in the happy times of life. It's a way to live life and enjoy our experiences in this world, because we are not meant to just survive. We are meant to thrive in this lifespan. When you live in alignment with your truest nature, balance becomes much easier than we've quite often been taught to believe. If you're interested to learn more about my offerings and how Ayurveda can support you, I'd love for you to check out my other videos here on YouTube and linked below, where I share more about how I support people with this work and what those offerings actually look like in real life. Thank you so much for being here. I'm really glad that you found your way to this work and to my profile. If something resonated with you, I would love to hear about it in the comments below or through a private message or email. I'd love for you to follow along here and consider subscribing to my channel or liking this video. I'm always happy to chat about Ayurveda and what the right fit might be for you. Feel free to book a free clarity call to discuss anything further. All contact details and booking links can be found in the description of this video or on my website, www.dustyroselifestyle.com. I hope to chat with you very soon.